The chase format is back. What is up, everybody? My name is Evan Bruce. Welcome back to the channel and another episode of Highside Clear. If you guys have been paying attention to the Nascar news recently, about an hour or so ago, NASCAR announced that the new championship format across all three series is going to be the chase format. No more playoffs, no more winning you're in. All of that is out the window. Top 16 drivers in points will compete for the title in the last 10 races of the season. This is a format that we haven't seen be used since 2013. If you guys have been familiar with NASCAR, the chase format was a big championship deciding format that was used from 2004 all the way to 2013. And we saw a lot of really good championship battles. I mean, we saw Jimmie Johnson win five championships in a row with this format. We saw Tony Stewart and Carl Edwards go head to head for the last 10 races of the season. And Tony Stewart ended up winning the championship there. We've seen drivers who had legit shots to win the championship, and then something happened. Clint Bowyer, 2012, Dale Jr., 2004. We've also seen some really great moments, including Brad Keselowski winning the 2012 championship and giving us the spectacular interview of him being completely wasted with a tall glass of beer. But the chase format is making its return. As the last couple of years, we've been dealing with the playoff format, where you have 26 races to win a race and lock yourself in. And then you have the final 10 races broken up into 3 race segments to try to get into the next grouping of points. So you start out at 16, then after 3 races, it's the top 12 that advance. Then after those races, the top 8, and then the last race is top 4 racing for the championship. And you had to win a race within those rounds to try to lock yourself into the next round and advance your way through. And it caused quite a lot of controversy over the last few years. In my time watching NASCAR, I would say there's only maybe 3 to 4 legitimate championships that were won through this playoff format. Kyle Larson, 2021, and this year, as he was basically the consistent points getter if you went to a full season or a chase format. Jimmie Johnson, 2016, was another one that I would say was a legitimate one. Martin Truex Jr., 2017, another sort of legitimate championship. And then you kind of look through it, and we've seen guys that haven't really done a whole lot in the regular season end up being the championship. Joey Logano, for his 3 championships, are a big one. 2018, he only won 3 races that year, and he wasn't the most consistent driver. 2022, he had an average finish of 17th. And he wins the championship. And then 2024, again, he had like the worst average finish among everybody in the playoffs, and he ended up winning the championship by just playing the system. And even though, like, we've even seen it in the Xfinity Series, Connor Zilic, 10 races on the year, and he loses it in the last race because of the playoff format. We've seen a lot of controversy, and I think it really kind of blew up this year at Phoenix with the way Denny Hamlin lost the championship, the way Connor Zilic lost the championship, the way Corey Heim had lost the last 2 championships before he finally got one this year. So I think it's a really good step in the right direction for NASCAR to bring back this chase format. And with this new chase format, there's obviously some changes. It's going to be 16 drivers that will be in the chase format. There's no wild cards, no top 10 plus 2 wild cards, none of that. It is just top 16 drivers at the end of the 26 race regular season that will lock themselves in to the chase. After that, there is a 100-point swing between 1st and 16th after the reset. And the next 10 races, it is those 16 drivers competing all the way till Homestead. They all have an equal shot. Now, of course, some drivers can get mathematically eliminated, meaning they're so far gone, they won't be able to win the championship, regardless of what happens. So we will see some elimination to it, but not in terms of the manufactured drama that we were seeing in the playoff format. And I think this is going to be really good for NASCAR. I think it's going to bring a lot of fans back, and it's going to make every race matter. It's going to make consistency matter. And then wins this year, the last few years, 40 points for a win plus 5 bonus points, then 35th on back for the rest of the points. And then after you got to 35th in the race standings, every other point was to 1 point. So if you finished 36th all the way through 40th, you got 1 point. That is kind of being changed a little bit. Bonus points are no longer going to be a thing. However, if you win a race, you will now have 55 points for a race win, and then 35 for second, 34 for a third, and so on all the way down to last place with 1 point. And this is going to be huge. Wins still matter, and they made that clear. Steve O'Donnell made that clear. Wins are still important, and it's going to matter a lot with this format. But it's still going to reward a full season consistency. We're not going to see drivers like Joey Logano, Josh Berry, who were averaging like 20th, 16th average running position, all of a sudden come up into the playoffs, the final 10 races, and win the title. You know, it's going to be more of a consistency. And I'm going to be really intrigued to see how it goes. And it's going to be across all 3 series. The Xfinity, the O'Reilly Auto Parts series. Gotta get used to saying that. The O'Reilly Auto Parts series and the Craftsman Truck series are going to be adopting this chase format. So they aren't doing the playoffs anymore. All 3 series are going to maintain this chase format. And this is, again, it's big. In the press conference today, the board was Mark Martin, Dale Jr., Steve O'Donnell, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, and Chase Briscoe as the board for this announcement. All of them expressed that, like, hey, this is what we wanted. You know, it's a bit of a compromise. It rewards a full season, and it has a little bit of that playoff feel, and it's good to bring it back. You know, Chase Elliott, he won the championship through the chase format in 2014 in the Xfinity series. You know, so he knows what it's like. You know, Mark Martin, he's experienced a full season 36 race format and the chase format, and he hasn't won a championship in either, but he was very strong on getting rid of the playoffs and wanting to go back to a full season format. And he even said it himself. It's like, I pushed for a full season, but this is as great of a compromise that we could have come up with. You know, it still rewards consistency. It still rewards a full season, but it also still rewards wins. So it's going to be really interesting to see how it plays out for this year. And it's going to be from this year moving forward. I see this as the format staying and see it going forward. It's still a little different compared to some other racing series like IndyCar and Formula One, where they still do a full season. But it's a step in the right direction for NASCAR. You know, it's brought back something that hasn't been ran in almost 10 years, and over 10 years. And it kind of brings back that consistency and that full season and making every race matter. Last year, we saw them get rid of the damaged vehicle policy. And I have a feeling with this year especially, we're going to see guys that are going to go to the garage, fix their cars, and come back. And we're going to see these mangled, just destroyed race cars running around in 30th, but they're going to get points. Where before, with the damaged vehicle policy, it was like, okay, if you can't fix the car on pit road in this amount of time, you're done, right? And you lose out on a whole lot of points if more drivers get terminally damaged and are labeled out of the race. So I think we're going to see a lot more of that. We're going to see a lot of teams fighting for every point that they can get. It's going to make every race matter, especially if it's like the last 10 race crunch and like your points leader just got taken out at Talladega and they go to the garage, they get it fixed. And then another big one happens and they're on track and they end up overtaking like 10 cars because they're all just destroyed and won't be able to return. That's another few extra points right there. And that could help them in that battle. Whereas in the playoffs, you couldn't really see that because if you won a race in the previous round, well, hey, guess what? You don't have to stress about that. You know, okay, we wrecked. We're done. We're already locked into the next round. We're good. But if you were a guy on the bubble, it's like, well, crap, right? And it kind of forced their hand to win. But now it's going to be interesting. I'm really excited to see what happens in the upcoming season. I think this is a very good step in the right direction for NASCAR as they're finally listening to the fans. And I'm very excited to see the chase format back, especially with Vegas having two races this year with Cup and Xfinity. It's going to be really exciting to see the sort of drama that the full season format will bring. As before, when the full chase format was a thing, Vegas only had one race and it was in the spring. So it was really too early to see what anybody had and to see the kind of drama that would play out. But now, no longer dealing with the playoff drama. It's going to be strict talent, down to driver ability, down to driver consistency. And it's going to be interesting to see where it goes from here. And I'm really excited for that. So let me know in the comments down below. Good Lord, I can't speak. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of this new format. Are you guys excited that the chase is back? Are you guys sad that the playoffs are gone? Or are you guys disappointed in NASCAR and not going back to a full season format? Let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe as well as click the bell icon. And as always, be sure to follow Instagram and Twitch to be notified whenever we upload anything there. And as always, I will see you guys in the very next episode. We are just a few moments away and a few weeks away from going racing at Bowman Gray to kick off the Clash and racing at Daytona to kick off the season. I am very excited to see how the season will unfold. I will be with you guys every step of the way. Peace.
Если это последняя часть, то сгорю в ней как